Hi, guys, and welcome to the first episode of We Need to Talk in the Wild. It's simply We Need to Talk, but just in the wild. And today's episode is about stillness and finding stillness. And sometimes the wildest thing that we can do is sit with our thoughts, sit with ourselves, sit in stillness. So I'll see you inside for our yoga class. Good morning, guys. Today is a little bit of a different episode. This is supposed to have a whole different vibe as well, like more lively. But last night I had a panic attack, and it was fitting because we already had this scheduled, and so it was fitting for what I really need today, and the topic of today and stillness and needing to take a break when you're extremely stressed or you are just in a bad headspace. And I could pretend and I could put on a face to be happy and lively. But I thought that being vulnerable and showing you guys, and also for myself, that I don't have to be that way right now, because that's not the way that I'm feeling. That's not what I'm experiencing right now. And yes, I look disheveled, but I will fix my hair in a minute when we get to the yoga class that we're going to. Today's theme is stillness doesn't mean stagnant. They're not one and the same. And therefore, we have to stop treating taking a rest or being still and listening to our bodies and listening to our feelings as being stagnant or being not okay, not doing well, not doing enough. I'll see you guys at Nature Care. That's where Stef is doing her class this morning. Yoga by Stef. Santosha Yoga. So I'll see you when we get there. Sexy crawl forward. Yeah, there we go. Shoulders and wrists, ankles, and knees and hips. So, for being vulnerable, I am struggling myself with stillness right now. I'm super stressed out, like we all are, paying bills, tax season.
I don't know when you're watching this, but it's tax season for me. Exciting for my life. So I just stressed at work, stressed about everything, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to keep going, to keep pushing. And sometimes it's unrealistic pressure where I'm not just pushing myself for betterment, it's pushing myself past the point. I know that in the news recently they've been talking about employees being burnt out and us pushing ourselves too much instead of employers realizing that we need some time. So today's episode is actually perfect, not because I just had a panic attack, but also that, but to help us open up the conversation about stillness and it not meaning that we're stagnant and not meaning that we're not giving enough, because we are giving enough. We are pushing ourselves as hard as we possibly can, especially in today today's world. It feels like if there's nothing to show for what we're doing, and we're working 5 years and still having nothing to show for it, essentially not having a house, not having a bunch of kids, or a backyard for those kids to play in if we do have kids. And it's just a struggle. So having all of that built up, it feels like if you're not doing enough and it feels like if you're being stagnant. So sometimes we need to sit in the stillness and sit in our thoughts and really evaluate what we're doing, if we are actually not pushing ourselves hard enough, or if we're pushing hard enough and we need to celebrate that, congratulate ourselves for making it this far, letting us find some peace and not make life all about work, because we're not working, we're not living to work. We're working and eating and thriving to live. Like we're doing that, keep living, so that we have the money to pay the bills, so that we can do the happy things, the good things. And it shouldn't be the forefront. It shouldn't be the first thing that we think about and the last thing that we think about at night. It should be, I did this, I did enough of what I was supposed to do, and I can move on. So this is after the class, and I just wanted to reflect a little bit about what came up. There was a lot of different emotions that came out inside of me and memories. I feel like I felt joy, like the memory of coming to yoga class. Usually, I would frequent it, and having a good day at yoga made me feel like on top of the world when I got all the poses done. I didn't feel like if my body was giving out on me. And today it brought that joy back. So it felt like I just had a good session, even though I had a rough night. Even though I had a rough night, even though it wasn't like perfect this morning, feeling drained, feeling like if the wind got knocked out of me because last night was so rough. I was able to come here and still have a good session. I was still able to just sit in the stillness and be a part of it, not think about anything outside, not think about the stress, but to think about each move. There's also pain and like physical pain because obviously your body is moving how it hasn't been accustomed to moving for a while. So there is that pain, there is that reminder of, oh, my body needed this stretch, my body needed this yoga class, I needed this moment because I've been going to the gym but I haven't been actually taking the time to stretch my body and connect and ground myself. So it's reminding me that I do need to rest more, to be still, to get that reminder of what my body needs, to slow down a little bit because I'm too busy trying to get all the money and get all the work done and push and push and push instead of slowing down and just being with myself for a moment. So that clarity hit, and at the end, I did feel the chaotic sense wanting to come in for me to be like, okay, when is this class going to be done? When can I move? When can I do something else? But then I had to remind myself to focus on what was going on and that the pain only lasts for a minute. It will be over, and to relish in the stretch, to relish in the process of being still and not to fight to get out of it, because fighting to get out of it just doesn't help. It brings me back to the chaos, and I needed to slow down even though it felt uncomfortable. And sometimes it feels uncomfortable to be still, as I said at the beginning, and that's okay. Sometimes we just got to sit through the uncomfortable to get to a place of breath. Torture. Without letting go, lengthen into a flat back, big breath in. Exhale, turn to the right foot, lunge, take a breath in. Right foot steps back. Now I'm giving you two choices, either A, normal down dog, or B, right leg goes all the way through down dog. Now go through your flow, 3-point flow or normal flow, whatever you want to do. We all meet back in down dog. And then, nope, keep them down. And then bring them flat. That's it. Okay. Down, down. Nice, Audrey. You're doing great. Down, down. What is that? How do you get all the way back? There you go. Nice. Nice. You can bring it down. Left leg up, please. Down, down. And step it forward. Is everybody still breathing, or no one cares about breathing?
Nope.
Inhale.
Breathing is a problem.
Really wide-legged forward fold. That's it. Set up. Make sure that right heel picks up beautiful. Now, two choices. Either normal down dog or down dog split. My left leg goes all the way through. Or, yes, your left. Come forward, inhale, plank, go through the flow of your choice. And we all meet in downward dog. You can stay on your toes if you're doing 3 points, so more down. Then it's really hard to go. Whoa!
Okay, leg.
Did
you see that?
He does stuff I can't even do. Drop the foot down. Take the right leg up and back down. I love that Simone has a mic and we all sit here to say, calm down. Take the foot forward. Take a breath in your lunge. You're perfect, Andre. You're perfect. And now turn to me. Nice. Move down. Step your right foot up. Wrong side. Take a breath in. Now let go all the way up. And to your take a breath. Like shoulder to right chest. You're grateful now. Almost done. Like shoulder to backward and get back. Oh, out. Wrong side. Move out. And feel. Come down to the mat. Move on again. Heel over your spot. This spot. So please stay on your knees. Breath in. Feel it back. Engage. Squeeze shoulders together. Okay. And feel backwards and let's step back. If you want to down. Got two ways to get your gaze. You're not breathing. One last one.
Do you have feeling in your toes? That's crazy. He's like working with this tail.
Okay, you want to do seated. This is make sure you have your all the way down. Back to the last one. Shoulders down. This is my breathing. Have your right over. After you do this, please this is the one. And I'll see how you all in. Really back normal back. Just touching around the body. Like a left. Yeah. Hold it around the leg. Hold it. And slowly release. Last 3 more breaths. Slowly change the mind. You can like the background. Never need to do your chest. Squeeze. Slow down the breath. You're finally on the floor. Arms and move down to a T. Take a breath in. Push it. That looks like all the right way. Julie, you have loads of space. You're just you're resting over here. You're not relaxed. You need to stop that. You won't miss it. So even in the last final twist, super important. Come back to a deep breath. You should be able to really fill up and feel the emptiness as the breath comes out and find a nice relaxing breath and relaxing posture on the floor. Using the next breath in to make your way back. Find one breath in the middle just to readjust. And then reverse to the other side.
Spooning again. Relax the hands just a little bit more. Take all your breath to the right side. So right shoulder blade nice and heavy. There we go. Perfect setup. Heavy to the left. The body, upper body wants to be heavy to the right. Breathing into that right lung, right shoulder, right ear, nice and heavy. Slowly use your breath in to come back. Both knees into your chest. You can curl up forehead to your knees. And take the right ankle over like we just did. Grab the tops of your feet. My arms go around. And just lay down. This is just going to help compress the spine even more. Let it flatten out fully to the mat. Back of the neck should feel really long. The shoulders relax. Arms release and legs go all the way to the ceiling. Her legs against the wall without the wall, just for a breath or two. You can roll out the ankles, wiggle the toes, try to touch the feet to the ceiling. Big breath. Slowly rebend the knees and take the left ankle over. Wrap around, reach with the feet, and give yourself another squeeze. Back of the skull heavy to the mat, back of the neck long. Each breath out, just let the whole spine melt into your Release the arms, let the legs go all the way up. Again, you can stretch, you can shake them out, roll them out. One more full breath in. Exhale, knees into the chest. You can give yourself one last squeeze if you really need it. And then slowly make your way into full shavasana. Adjust anything you need to adjust. Make sure you're as lazy as you can.
You didn't cross your knee on this one. You did? Oh.
Rolling on the back of your head, relaxing the shoulders and the back of your neck. Take a deep, full breath in. Exhale, let it all out. One more full inhale. And exhale. We have nothing left to do here but just breathe and lay down. Just for a few moments.
Slowly start coming back to a deeper breath. Arms reach above your head as you stretch everything from fingertips to toes. Big stretch, big full breath. And slowly bend the knees and make your way fully to your right side. Press down through the left hand, gently making your way up to the wrist balls. Hands to your heart. Last big breath together. Inhale. Exhale. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, you can release your hands and open. We're gonna ask icebreaker questions first. Okay. What's your favorite yoga pose?
What?
Because you make us do one when you're doing the shining a light on one of your yogis. You make us pick a pose.
Well, that's just to get the conversation going about people and like why they like that pose and like what is it about that pose. Because it's always like, I feel really strong, I feel really cool, I feel really flexible, which is amazing. Everybody has something favorite and least favorite. But
it's Shavasana because we're lying down.
But if you've noticed, no one's ever allowed to pick Shavasana. That's way too easy. Everybody wants to pick that one. So no. But secretly, also what I love about doing that, like yogi of the week in their pose, is because for 10 weeks in a row, they tell me what to teach. So I don't have to think about it. So it's kind of like a get you talking, get me to just tell me what to do. So it's amazing. And it's always really fun. And you've done it how many years ago?
Probably like 2.
Yeah, sadly, it's been a while. But no, that's always one of my favorite things to do in the year. It's the yogi of the week for many reasons. Not just to talk about yoga poses, but also talk about the people doing the yoga poses.
Yawning. Sorry.
We just finished class. She just came out of Setso Shavasana.
Yoga doesn't wake me up. It just makes me want to take a nap.
But funny enough, give her about 20 more minutes and it's like the equivalent of like 6 espresso shots. You get what we call like a yoga high. So the goal is, yes, you leave here all like gooey and be like, namaste everybody, so chill. And then about 20 minutes, you're like, so what are we doing? So it's going to kick in. Just give it a minute.
Okay.
So,
yoga pose. What's your favorite one?
I don't think I have one.
What's the one that's easiest for you to do?
I kind of like Janu Shirshasana, which is a seated pose. Not that I'm lazy, but it's just one of those seated poses that makes you feel like super grounded. It's a twist and a fold at the same time. And I can fold fully into it, so it just feels like amazing. If I had to pick one, I don't know.
Okay. How'd you get into yoga?
Good question. It's a long time ago too. Oh my God, I feel old all of a sudden. Give you a timeline. My son is 24 and I started yoga way before he was born. So it's not like I started, like, hey, last year. No, it's been a while. When I used to dance, when I lived in New York, I danced like I don't know how many hours a day. And a friend of mine said, come to a yoga class. And me being an ex-gymnast, I was like, sure, let's go. And this is back in like freaking the 90s. God, I'm showing how old I am. An old studio in Chelsea. I think we were the only girls. It was really funny. And I loved it because I had my own mat. I didn't have to talk. I could just sit there and someone tell me what to. It was very different than dancing, and I immediately loved it. And of course, with all the stuff upside down, I really liked as well. So like handstand, headstand, flip upside down, I loved it. And then I did it for years before I did my first teacher training, and then another one. So yeah, it's been a while. Always loved it.
You know where my brain is going to? Not yoga at all. One of my favorite things about Steph is that she has a farm, essentially.
I knew she was going to bring that
pigs. She has like 5 million dogs. 5 million.
Not feel no, only 27. At this time, on this day of April 9th, I have 20.
They just keep coming. At one point, it was like 16. How are you at 27?
We have a rescue problem. So, but it's like when we're talking about like what makes you feel like calm, or like what do you love in life? Like it's my animals. They drive me insane. Don't get me wrong. Some days I'm like, oh my God, but I love them. Like coming home to like 26 dogs greeting you. You can't have a bad day.
That's my life goal, to have not 26 or 27 or multiple pigs. You know what? I want a little goat.
I have 8 now. We just got 3 new baby Nubians. I can't handle the cuteness. They look like wind-up toys that you crank up and then you let go and they just go punk, 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 all over the place. It's amazing.
I love that. I want that to be my life. To just have a bunch of dogs and a pig, a tiny pig.
I have 2 pigs.
A tiny pig.
Do not have 2 pigs.
Not the really. She has, what's it called? A
kuni pig.
Yeah.
2 of them. A redhead and a polka dot. But don't you remember years ago, because everybody see like you should do yoga with your animals, do yoga outside. And I'm like, clearly none of y'all been to my house because that is impossible. So just to like show people what it is to do yoga in my yard, I put out my yoga mat in the grass and I filmed the time lapse. It is a circus. It's a disaster. The pig is on my mat. I have dogs under me, over me, biting me, all over the place. They're deciding they have zoomies in it. So I did a whole thing just to show them like this is what it looks like. So no, it is funny to watch, but it's like there's nothing relaxing about doing yoga with my dogs. Whenever I do my sequence, like when I prep for the week, I shut the door. The minute they see my yoga mat, they're like, oh my God, and they run and they all lay on it. So yeah, no. So I love yoga with dogs, but no.
Who's your favorite dog?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Lucy's the chill one that used to do it in the back. Like
she's still
she's
still in the back.
The chair.
She's still in her chair, exactly.
So when we were during COVID, when we were during COVID, Lucy would just go on the chair while Steph was doing it. You'd just sit chilling.
She never moves. Now we have Alan, who also participates, but who's the coolest, chillest dog. Well, he's a Pomeranian, so he likes to bark, but he never barks in class. But for some reason, whenever I start to teach, it's like a go button. Then he's like, "Oh, zoomies! Oh, got it." And I'm trying to teach, and all you see is this fur ball going boom, 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 and everybody can't focus. And so I had to take Alan out because he doesn't relax. It's really funny. So it's only back to Lucy now. So I don't know. I have a 3-legged dog named Basmati. She's white, like white on rice. And she has 3 legs, and she's a rescue. I found her in a garbage can like 7 years ago. And I don't know, my heart kind of loves Bazzy a lot because she's a loner. She's the one you have to watch out for if you come into the yard. We have these huge, big dogs, and everybody's scared of them. Like, don't mind those ones. Watch for the white sniper over there. She'll get you. She only had 3 legs, so people think she's all like, oh, poor dog. Nope. Yeah, no. But I don't know. I kind of love Bazzy. Like, a lot.
You're gonna say something.
It was a fun.
What's the point?
Because she said we had to take her out. And I was going to just say she means take her outside.
Yes, take her outside of the
And
room.
not
Of the room.
pew!
No.
Not put her down, guys. Just take her outside. Just
We had to
avoid
take
confusion.
her out of the room and shut the door. And it was Alan, not Lucy. Lucy's still there. No, Alan, because he would distract everybody.
Bear used to model me during
I miss
COVID
Bear.
classes, just randomly while I would be in a pose, just take me out.
It was really
Just
funny.
knock me out. Just see black and white because he was too big to fit.
But
on
it was
the
so
screen.
cute on Zoom because he would be there and I'd say hi to him in the through the computer and he'd put his face right up hello.
Okay. Do you have any more yoga questions? I don't know.
May I ask a yoga question?
Yeah.
How does it feel to be back on your mat this morning?
Mixed feelings. I miss it, but I also remember how much it hurts. And I also struggle with the stillness this morning. But at the end, at the third round, I was like, is this class gonna end?
And it's funny, you guys only did 3 rounds and it was supposed to be 4 rounds. So I was actually really nice. But I miss having you in class. And the only reason I say this to everybody, not just you, but when people start coming consistently, and it consistently doesn't mean every day. It's like once a week. So let's say Wednesday is your yoga day. So if you come every Wednesday, it becomes part of your routine and becomes easier in every sense of the word. Physically, mentally, it's part of your routine. And you'll notice that when you skip a week, if ever, God forbid that happens, your body's going to be like, hey, where's my yoga class? So some people are able to do it twice, 3 times, whatever. But that minimum of just once to move your body, so then eventually you actually look forward to it to get everything out instead of the other. So only when you do it once in how long? It's been a while. So people that come twice a year, they're like, oh God. Well, of course it's going to hurt if it's only twice a year. Yeah. Your body hasn't done it in 6 months.
But I did feel the goodness of it because I thought I was going to suck at it.
No.
I was just like, my legs are not going to be how they usually are when I was doing it before. But then I was doing the poses and I was like, ooh, look at me.
No,
I'm doing it.
I was so impressed. I was like, it's just like riding a bike. You went right back into your poses like you do them every day.
I do have to do it more.
There's a few faces that came up that I was like, those are good faces. But everything else looks so good. We're not going to talk about Andre. We're not going to put him on spot.
Andre wasn't supposed to do the class.
Look at all those teeth. I wish the camera was on you right now so you could see that face.
He was coming to film, and then we bullied him into doing the yoga class.
I don't like that word bully. Not bully, but
convinced.
No, but you said you guys were both coming to
class. We came together
to participate in class. When I saw only one yoga mat, I was like, oh, what's happening here?
That's because Andre doesn't like to participate in yoga class.
Was it because it wasn't dark? Because the last time you did class, it was pitch dark outside. I was like, is it too
last
sunny?
time I bullied him into doing it too.
What's another word for bullying? Convince, politely, direct.
Extorted.
Extorted, doesn't that involve money?
Did it involve money? I don't think so.
It's not a bribe. It's not a bribe. Politely coax into.
Pushed heavily.
Words.
Pushed heavily.
We're going to use pushed heavily. I pushed him heavily into doing I was
really sad.
Last year? Okay, anyway, we were going to come to Holly again this year, but then I saw how do you find balance between having a farm, doing a lot of yoga classes a week, and finding time for yourself and your kids and your wife and all the things?
Especially right now, which is really funny that you asked that right now, because I don't know if you heard that OTT is doing a show this weekend. My wife's building all the sets. I'm sewing all the costumes. She's backstage set design and moving it around, so she directs all that.
Marley's in it again this year.
Pardon me?
Marley's in it this year.
Of course, she has 11 costume changes. And I'm costume and backstage for quick changes. So some of them kids have the quickest costume change ever. So I'm with that. So in between classes, like yesterday, I finished here, not here, somewhere else. And went to Frank Collimer Hall and sewed costumes until 4:30 p.m. to go teach right after that. And then today I'm doing the same thing, and tomorrow, and then Friday is the first show. So I will sleep on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I know, I try to put makeup so I don't look tired because I'm like really tired.
Mm.
So right now our animals, I feel like we don't spend enough time with them right now because I'm either driving, teaching, or sewing. So, but then as of next week, when life returns to kind of normal, the animals, yeah, we hang out with them, we play with them. I go hang out with my goats every day. My favorite thing to do on a day, which I make time. Sometimes it's only 20 minutes, but I love reading, and I will like make time to sit down and just read my book. And I get up and I keep going because other than that, I would lose my mind.
What book are you reading now?
The Dictionary of Lost Words. I'm reading a book about words. It's kind of funny.
Nerd.
I know, right?
As soon as you said dictionary, I was just like, what? I was expecting like a
Book
novel.
is not a dictionary, but it kind of is. It's, you know, like that cool historical fiction that it's based on a true story, but it's not a true story, but you kind of know it is.
Cool and historical in the same sentence.
This is where not reading. Well, reading is what, like, yeah. But no, it's really funny. I'm reading a book about words. It's really funny, but it's really interesting. I'm actually really into it.
Thanks so much for coming on the podcast, having
When
us
is
in
your
your
next
class.
yoga class?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Question: if you were animal, what animal would it be? What is your spirit animal? What animal do you represent?
I don't know. When my kids were small, one said I was a Jack Russell. You know. One said I was a pit bull because I'm like defend and loyal and I will beat you up. Jack Russell because they're hilarious and they're kind of naughty. And then my son said once that I was a hummingbird because they're very, very small and fast.
I feel the hummingbird vibe or the pit bull vibe.
Or the Jack Russell vibe.
I feel like the Jack Russell with those, they like bark a lot and they have no bite to me. Like they're the ones that get the bigger dog. But Steph has a big dog inside of her tiny little body. Like she will defend whatever she has to defend.
I will.
And bite you. Like the words. It's like tiny people have like a lot of passion inside of them. So I would go with the pit bull.
I'll take the word passion, thank you.
Or the hummingbird, because I feel like if you're like all over the place and you just go and you leave your nice little essence of
hummingbirds are they're everywhere around here, but they're so cute and little. And yeah, my son said they're cute, little, and fast. He's like just like you. I was like, oh, so
yep.
cute.
My spirit animal is a sea turtle.
That's why you have it on your necklace. Nice.
Every time I go into the ocean, I usually see a sea turtle.
Oh, really? That's nice. I don't know why, but in my mind, all the sea turtles are girls. I'm sure there's a male in there somewhere, but in my mind, they're all girls.
I love that. Yeah.
It's just
girl
they're
power.
so pretty and graceful. I don't know. I'm always like, a sea turtle is a girl.
I feel like all of them are boys, to contradict that.
Really?
No, like, not me personally thinking that, but when I look at them, I'm like, oh, that looks like a boy. I never see the girls.
I always think that they're girls. That and like manta rays are all women.
So now leave us with, what is the meaning of life?
I knew you were going to say that. I had no idea, to be honest.
What is the meaning of life for you?
I still don't know. I don't know. Do you know?
Of course not.
That's always like such a funny question because it's very what's the word? Like everybody has their own answer. It's a very personalized answer. I don't think it's like a scientific answer. It's not a textbook answer. It's like whatever.
I feel like people have that answer when they die. Like right before you die, you get like a little.
And you're like, oh no, I have the answer. And